So, as you probably heard my metro tone, count me in then. Just to let you know, I'm not very good at playing the piano, but I wanted to incorporate different ways to enhance our reading and to feel some more emotions while we think about these topics that come out. So thinking about thinking, I bring you the thinking cube. So group number 12, this is the strategy thinking you need to apply to this reading. All right, group number 12, evaluate. So you're needing to put your evaluating lenses on. And these are your questions to keep in mind throughout the reading. What are the various opinions and which do you feel is most important? So which opinions do you delve into? Which ones do you care about and which ones are you ready to release? What evidence is there to support this issue? The idea, the concept, or the principle? So let's just place that for a second. That's 4 ways of thinking about an issue, right? So the thinking cube is giving us a way to evaluate. You're needing to attend to the issue, see what it is, address it. What's the idea? What's surrounding it? What's the concept? How does it come about? How does it function? And what's the principle behind it? You're needing to evaluate all of these things. Next question you need to keep in mind. What can you interpret from this new information? So based off your evaluations, what is the new interpretation? What's your evaluation? And then the last question is, what criteria could you use to assess this? So talking about criteria, I've decided to bring in another element for you to interpret with the reading. So let's see how your evaluating goes today. Group number 12. And let's see. So I've pulled 2 cards for light and the dark. So this is to embody your light and dark side of you. So, balancing the positive and negative aspects. To feel in flow with your harmony. So, on the dark side, let's bring you to the dark side. The dark side. All right. So we're bringing light to the dark side. 1-7. So there's intuition and illusions, options and choices. You're saying hi to spirit. You're like waving by, saying hi to spirit at the window. There are other conversations being had. So this is either you being aware of the conversations with spirit, or spirit's having conversations about you and you're ready to receive that information. So there are other conversations. Oh, if I hit it harder, it sounds louder. Okay, and then your animal spirit energy for this reading is the tiger quoll. Quoll? Tiger quoll. Spiritual awakening. Ooh, spiritual awakening. That makes me feel very high and vibrant, like I don't know, something like that. Spiritual awakening. So saying hello to spirit and having a spiritual awakening. That makes sense. All right, so let's do a read around the table. So in your Sagittarius, I'm going to read for the angels first. I don't always work in order because that's not how tarot works. So Sagittarius, this is your 9th house. 9th house, this is philosophy, religion, and higher law, right? Right? Sorry, I'm just remembering what scale I was working in. So patience. Okay, so patience reveals secrets of nature, spreads knowledge and industry. So the forbearing God, number 7. So 7's very prominent in this reading. Perhaps reading number 7 is also some messages for you in there. So if you feel the need and the timing is right, check it out. All right, so let's come back down to earth. In your Scorpio house, this is things around wealth of others. So your thoughts about others, this is like procrastination, speculation on your values and how others are presenting to you. This is like weighing up and testing up characteristics and behaviors and wondering if there's anything that's conflicting to the information you're receiving and putting your attention to. So just keep that soft and low while we're procrastinating. Okay, so this is like rest and recovery after a long period of everything. Could be anything and everything. So I said in my other readings that the death card come out in other group readings, right? But if you do happen to tap into any of those, this was the other card I was referring to. So the death card I don't associate with death. Usually, most of the tarot decks, I don't associate the death card with death. This is my association with the death card, death. So in this time, this is like this procrastination around, and it doesn't have to be someone's leaving and dying this earth. It just means that like death means it's like the idea of someone being dead to you is that you no longer partake into that energy. So there's many forms of death, but this is recovery from death. Recovery from that form of death. So there's a sense of you procrastinating and weighing up what you're needing to release and keep mindful in the pocket for a lesson for future. And then the other ones are just they're kind of just pointing the finger. You know what I mean? So 9 of Wands sitting in your Virgo house. Sorry, not Libra, sorry, I missed that, Libra. So this was, okay, so you're rest and recuperating from a complete end to some sort of marriage, or you're resting and recuperating to some sort of complete end to a partnership. Now, when we talk about marriage and partnership, let's talk about the energy that governs that type of partnership. So I'm not talking about a ring on the finger in terms of marriage. This is someone that you devote a married relationship time with, right? So you're not physically married to them and you haven't signed paper, but this person represents a marriage to you. When I talk about partnerships, it's like something very close, something that you choose to keep by your side because it keeps you harmonious and keeps you balanced. For instance, music, sound. So generally the public know this about you. This is public information, and you're quite happy to balance these things. So whatever's happened and you're speculating on, and I'm going to read this in the past position because it's known, it's in the public eye, it's known. 9 of Wands. So this is like you working hard for your creative pursuits, like what you put fire to, where you put all your motion and energy into. So this is, I'm talking about physical movement, sports, kinetic energy, touching and tapping in. Tapping in. What are you doing every day? So this is like creative daily pursuits. You've like built some wall of protection. There's a lot of passion around it. It feels like that you're on the right path. So in terms of spiritual awakening, you're on the right path. Because in order for a spiritual awakening to occur, something dramatic has to be taken or released or removed. And often when the death energy comes, it's outside of our control. When we talk about the tower energy, that's like either an internal epiphany, whether it's good or bad, or this could be an external tower that someone else has caused you. But these are like lessons that you're needing to learn and work through. Ten of Pentacles sitting down in the Leo, in your Leo house. So this is like creative joy. If we talk about like the things that you aspire to, the things that you know give you happiness, and the things that you've worked hard for to protect. So talking about Leo, creative and joy, there's like children, and that applies to romance as well. So romancing your inner child is helping you connect with spirit and have those conversations. These are moments of spiritual awakenings. Moments of happiness and tapping into tranquil abyss. When you're finding happiness and moments, these are like moments of awareness, is like a spiritual awakening. And depending on how close they are together in time, depends on your progression and how quickly you awaken to your spirit. And I talk, when you awaken to your spirit, your purpose and your passion is your power. So I'm about positioning you for those three. So the Three of Pentacles. This talks about like having to balance the number 3. So even though there's very much like a lot of family energy here, so mum and dad and child, but also 3 talks about mind, body and spirit. So placing significance around how you feel about how you are as a mother, or how your nurturing side is provided to others. So as you're starting to be a bit more cautious around the values of how you're delivering your motherhood, or how your motherhood was delivered to you. So this is talking about the nurturing and the home environment. So mind, body and spirit. So we're talking about the physical body, the casual body, the body that we can look, see and touch. And then we've got the soul body. So this is like our aura, the thing that illuminates outside us. And then there's the spirit body, the spiritual body, the higher self communication connection. That's like outer body experiences. That's tapping into the ether. Placing values around this. So, balancing mind, body and spirit, balancing thy father, thy son, I think I've heard. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. This is also like taking joy into providing and feeding into one another. So like, knowing that when child is around, that you have to be a guide of some sort or some sort of teacher, but also you have to be some sort of spiritual teacher in the sense that you've walked a similar path before, so you therefore are their spiritual guide in a sense in the physical form. So they've selected you and signed with the divine a contract to come back on earth as your earth child. Now, the earth childs have spirit guides and spirit parents of their own. And each person, you, your partner, or your child, are all here for different reasons and different purposes. So what we're needing to do is to root down and ground ourselves into working out what we need, what we don't need, and what's right and what's wrong. So this brings you into procrastination on the things that have gone wrong. Let's talk about the Magician here in your Gemini house. So this is how you think. And this is how your communication is being portrayed. So 3 again, mind, body, spirit. So if they're not being aligned, then something is being contradicted. So thinking about communicating, thinking about educating, and thinking about writing. This information also portrays and relays to the communication with brothers and sisters, so siblings. That includes cousin girls and sister boys. And, communicating and educating those short journeys, your shortcomings, your downfalls, your learnings, being conscious of those experiences. So that's what part of being that spiritual guide is for others, even if you are or aren't a parent. So that very much how you feel and how you think is very strong in this reading, about family and governing and teaching others. I just love the colours in this deck, so I have to give you a little bit more of a close-up. If you just love the cards and want to have a browse through, I do some deck flip-throughs. I think I've got 62 deck flip-throughs there, so I've done them all individually so you can get a feel for each of the decks, because I've mixed them all up, because I'm able to read different scenarios easier instead of being restricted to one deck. For me, it's like changing my perspective. So if I've brought 4 decks in, I'm able to think 4 ways about things. So in this one, I think I've brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's like 14 decks. But I mean, with tarot, it gives me a little bit more information. Scenic background and emotional. I was feeling progression. So Taurus is like what you have. These are the things that you've been carrying with you. So this is giving me the sense of spiritual knowledge, or belief and knowing over insight. So this gives me premonition or predictive type of rationality. So this is how you've been behaving in terms of your wealth. So you've been strategic and quite possessive over your finances, which has been a good thing. But be mindful though, if we hold on too much, we become stagnant. So there has to be an ebb and flow in everything that we find that we do or live to. So this is talking about the work that you've done in terms of trade for your talents. And this is past work. So this could be 5 jobs for some people, or this is 5 skill sets you apply for one job. Or this could be for a finance worker or an accountant. This is you have 5 major clientele, high profile clients that you're looking after constantly. So because you've managed to manage your money so well, these are the high profile clients that you've managed to maintain. And help them lead their business with success, because you've been possessive over balancing the idea of what wealth means for the business, because you're able to understand their trade and therefore manage and balance their finances over the people's skill set that they choose to hire. So if you want to dive in a little bit further, we think about the culture of the company. What is it inherited, and who are the people that they are seeming to continue to hire? What is the downfall? And what are the people who have been there for the longest saying? And what are the talented ones bringing to the table that's saying that change needs to happen? So these are all the things that you've kept in mind in your second house with Taurus. So these are the things that have kept you rooted down into your physical wealth in the physical form. It's almost if I think about how that radiates in from your body, it's you look very well, you're groomed very well, you speak very well, you hold very well, you speak when you need to and say no more, and then you apply method and knowledge together to get a better outcome for the business. I wanted to place it back that way, which means so with these pick a card, pick a pile readings, I've done all the cards facing in. So this is all internal self work. When I get cards facing out, this is how the outside perceives you in that house, or it's information or energy that's coming in. So depending on things that are surrounding it tells me a bit more about if there's something coming in, how are you reacting to it, or if you've already heard about it. So that's how I work the wheel. So the 3 of Pentacles here in Aries. So this is the first house. This is I am. This is your assertiveness, how you apply yourself. Now this is also very much focused on the outer world. So this is like how people describe your personality and how you describe the world through your perception to others. That's like a counteracting perception. And so this is also about how you see the world through your childhood versus how you see the world through adulthood, and radiating and navigating different environments where you're able to ebb and flow and balance and weigh. So the reason why you've done so well is because you've taken a self-interest to apply yourself into balancing a good outward personality for doing the work for the greater good. So you've asserted yourself very well, and it's like that's been fantastic. So the other energy I usually get for this, like in the star sign readings, I pick up like this is like a meeting, a group meeting, or like a family meeting, or like a couple of close friends coming together. So this is like planning to prepare, or preparing for progress, or like, to me sometimes it's like in context, it's with this dragonfly here, there's something you're needing to transform in the subconscious space, is something you don't know about yet or haven't tapped into. If this card were facing out, I would say people are planning against you, but the sense that it's all internal, in sense of working on the self, it's coming from a place of love. So this could be those clienteles really, really appreciate the love that you put into your work and how you maintain your health and your pettiness when it comes to the legalities of contracts. And because of this and your spiritual awakening, your friendships will deepen. So Spirit's wanting you to keep your heart open at this time. Clear your mind. So keeping your heart open and a clear mind, which means away from judgment and assumptions. Last quarter moon in Cancer, whether that Cancer. Okay, referring to me, myself, I, or referring to the different levels of our energy bodies. So physical being our casual body, soul being our aura, the outside of our casual physical body, and then we have our spiritual higher self connection. So there's something to do with called Cancer, and there's a focus on those three things, however that resonates for you. So there's a sense that you're needing to take a breather because you've put a lot of work in, and in this sense, if you're stuck in this procrastination, you're needing to come to terms with what you need to come to terms with under your own evaluation, and know that there is a creative web of opportunity and networks that you're tapping into or that you already have. And I'm talking about your friends. I'm talking about the people you've spoken to your aspirations about. I'm talking to the people who you've entrusted hope to. And I'm talking about the people who know your deepest, darkest secrets and wishes. So in this space and with those people and those relationships, there's a lot of creative potential and networking happening right now. So you're well deeply connected. I'm also seeing the 333 here again, opposing the family. So that's like polar bear. Just be mindful that even though you feel like this is self-work and a self-awakening in your spiritual self, Spirit wants you to know that you don't need to feel like you're alone, like sitting there on the tip of the iceberg, because Spirit's holding the iceberg from underneath, and all of those other ice particles and pieces are one and the same. So don't think that you can't get to the next one, because Spirit is working this out for you. So like I said, there are other conversations happening, whether you know this or not. Spirit is working this out for you. So let's talk about, so there's this Ace of Wands. There's new physical opportunity coming in, and this new physical opportunity is able to help you transform. So to come out of that procrastination energy, you're needing to express your hidden feelings. And you need to start doing that with me, myself, I. So get a journal and write it down. You need to start expressing your hidden feelings with your other path, your counterpart, your partner. You need to start expressing your true feelings when it comes to your children. So educating your children is key here, because giving them independence is fundamental for them to proceeding on their purpose. So if you can set them up for success in their purpose, that's also part of your karmic contract concluded, you know. Would you want to leave Earth knowing that your child can't support themselves? If you can't give them anything, teach them everything. Last quarter moon in Pisces. So talking about expressing your hidden feelings, talk less and feel more. So let's start feeling before you start talking. So those moments of aggravation, or moments when you're starting to feel like you're all alone and not around, tap into and step out of. So I'm feeling this way, but me is feeling this way, but I is feeling this way. What is your evaluation from those three things? Write them down and score them. Score them. Are they good? Are they bad? If it's good, okay, how do I overcome this? I've accepted it. That's good. If it's bad, what do I need to do? I can't expect anyone else to change, but I can change my perception, or the way that I do things, or what I choose to put my effort to. So trust in the universe. Spirit's got your back. It's time to shine and go wild. Believe in your good luck. Yeah, so this is like networking and creative activity happening. The people you've looked after dearly, they hold you in high regard. While you're in this spiritual awakening magician energy, that's super exciting. So I kind of feel like we need to, I feel like I want to pull something else out for an outcome, like the lovers and relationships. So start with your lovers. Start with your lovers, connect with them. Express your hidden feelings. This takes you out of that poverty lack mindset and brings you into resolution and out of procrastination, because the universe, because spirit, because Mother Earth is fairness and justice. Ebb and flow, give and take. Things come and go. When things are down, things has to go up. There's a thing here to just sort of rationalize who you choose to hang with, because there could be some sort of magician manipulation energy and being charmed by wealth, because that's stopping your windfall. So spirit's wanting you to remove the idea of being wealthy in the terms of financial money, and come around to the idea of dominating what's been stagnating you, and work on team and focus on your lovers and your relationships, because that's preventing your windfall. If you're not working on those things, you're not getting your windfall, your money, right? So when we focus on money, that's when we lack money. But when we focus on the things that are important, money comes in easy. Yeah, so rest, alchemize, hope, and be resilient. Harvest the grief and fight through. So let's read the card 17. There are other conversations happening. There are other conversations, page 98. All right, let's do this. So, there are other conversations How is it? How is it, they say, that you so often have days when you barely speak with another soul? When they say this to her, she wonders at the value so many put on human speech. For she hears the small talk and the savage tongues of the town, and she keeps her silence and watches carefully. She is not afraid of anything except wasting her precious time and energy. She loves people who are good and kind, but there are too many of who are fractured by their own desires to be important, to be known, to be heard above all others. They compare themselves again and again, and never find their satisfaction or solace in the miracle of the natural world. For there are other kinds of conversations she speaks with the animals, with the stars, and often with special animals who seem to have the strongest connection with her, who tell her news and who sends her messages. She has wisdom, for she knows the value of words and their strength, and she will use hers well. She speaks with the ones least often spoken to, and she learns much, understands more, and enters the body deeply into a relationship with the wild and magical world she dwells in. There are, after all, other conversations. So the meaning of this card is wisdom, heightened senses, listening, staying silent instead of filling up the space with noise, communicating purposefully and with sincerity, understanding the language of creatures of the air, bird messages, and night owls speak of our soul's deep wisdom in a forgotten language, the language of our soul. So when this card is reversed, I always read both upright and reversed in this sense, because energy comes and goes, right? So if you're feeling in the reversed, know that you're coming in and out of that. So the reversed meaning of this card is wanting to talk to ease anxiety or fear, unable to truly listen or receive messages as the time is filled with sound, endless sound. A longing for stillness and to understand the wise animal beings, longing for a familiar, yearning to speak the wild languages, understand the animal messages of spirit, but not knowing how to do so. All right. So, Tiger Quail. Tiger Quail. 96, 9 and 6. Ending of love over fear, ending of fear over love. '96. Spiritual awakening. All right. So the energy governing this card: action, moving forward, health, risk-taking, opportunities, stress, spiritual advancement. Here is your call to action. Now is the time to move, choose or commit regarding a project, decision, or something you have been putting off for far too long. Let that stress go and finally go for it. The Tiger Quail is shouting, do it, move forward. Moving forward will bring more opportunities and open new doors. This animal game, the game that Animal Guides, invites you to use its energy to take risks and be assertive in achieving your goals and desires. Other animals may encourage you to slow down and take a breath, but Tiger Quail urges you to go faster. They have an abundance of intense energy and gift this to you now. Tiger Quail also shows up when there is a spiritual awakening or travel between worlds. Tiger Quails have reflexes like lightning. I just see like quick snap, like. So Tiger Quail also shows up when there is a spiritual awakening or travel between other worlds. Tiger Quails have the reflexes like lightning, Connect to their energy when you need a rapid response, agile thinking, and help adapting to the winds of change. Call on the tiger quail energy when you need to be assertive, when you need to calm your mind in the pursuit of a goal, and when you need to quicken your reflexes. Alright, so the advice today, it's time to be zealous. Zealous. I don't even know what that means, but judging by that type of movement, it's quite strategic. So it's time to be zealous and chase after those goals. Stop procrastinating. So the chakra responsible for the energy of this card is the sacral chakra, and the color is orange. So the mantra for this, let's say it. I'll say it first. I allow myself to move forward. By doing this, I create new opportunities. All right, let's say it together. I allow myself to move forward. By doing so, I create new opportunities. One more time. I allow myself to move forward. By doing so, I create new opportunities. Ooh, yeah. So, I don't know how that felt to you, but that felt like contradicting energies. So maybe that's when you're in this space too much, you need to bounce into this space. So this is about balancing. So we can never stay in one place for too long. Things are constant. Earth is constantly moving, and so are our insides, our outsides, and our spiritual vibes. So to stay into one place too long sends us into procrastination. And if we stay there too long, the universe has to give us some sort of death energy to snap us out of it. So what you've been doing and how you have applied yourself as well. But what I think Spirit is trying to say is what made you successful now is a complete flip to where you're moving into as a spiritual being. So the other conversations is that the conversations in your mind are having to change. All the hard work that you've put down, know that you've already expressed that and you can see that through the results of your clientele. I think what Spirit's trying to say is you're needing to hone in on your personal space, your mind, body, spirit, and also focusing on you, your partner, and your babies, and also focusing on being in the physical form, also nourishing that aura energetic energy, and also tapping in and checking in with Spirit to make sure you're in alignment with your life, with your life goals, with your passion. Making sure you're not missing any opportunities or speaking out of school, because you've got to express your hidden feelings, but I think it's important about who you're expressing it to, because in the past we were talking about friends and people you've spoken your aspirations to, and expended your wishes and hopes and spoke about ideals and things like this. So I think you're needing to reconnect with the network in the sense of your internal network first, because your external network had already been thriving before you're stepping into this spiritual awakening. So maybe if you're not able to leave this type of energy soon, you're needing to balance between all three. So this is talking about embracing your new spiritual awakening while also being mindful that there's two conversations being had in your head, and Spirit's also giving you other directions. So work, family, and Spirit. You, yourself, and I are working with Spirit, tapping into self. So that's the three focals of this reading. So you're needing to evaluate how and where you apply your strategies and energies, and how are you going to sit in the noise and listen to the sounds? Are you going to sit in the silence, or is the sound and the noise throwing you into silence because it's so noisy? Yeah. So, evaluate the various opinions, and which do you feel is most important? What evidence is there to support this issue, idea, concept, and principle? What can you interpret from this information? And what criteria could you use to assess this? So, group number 12, that was your reading. I hope that you have or will be able to work through your evaluation skills and work through this particular energy. But for now, take care, love yourself, love your family, and you've obviously loved the work that you've been doing because you've done a tremendous job. But now it's time for you to step and speak with spirit occasionally. Perhaps you've been expressing too much externally. It's time to tap into internal expression and evaluate what that means to you. Group number 12, take care. Until the next reading. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Bye.